I think George Tillman Jr., the director, had a lot to do with our passion and chemistry. I mean, from very early on, he was pretty adamant about, having us be comfortable with one another, but also creating the sexy. I mean, he was always talking about sexy, sexy, sexy. I mean, can't you just hear that coming out of his mouth?
I can.
Sexy,
I can. You had to work a lot on your sexy.
I did have to work on my sexy,
She doesn't have to work on her sexy. Look.
Slightly.
To be a man, like a man, is not to be always, like a tough guy or whatever. It's to be a gentleman, and let's not forget that. Gentle man, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, look, I have no problem with men wanting to be men and, taking charge or what have you, but I understand, the question of how far do you take it being a man and, being dominant in the relationship, and then, with women and trying to be also dominant and wanting to be an equal partner in the relationship. Where is that line?
I mean, I thought it was just a great movie that had a great message. It's rare we see today, like a really great drama, like a nice drama that has a really great message about life. And then I also thought it had an edginess about it that was cool, if it wasn't just a chick flick. It was something if you got drugged to by your significant other that you'd be like, that's pretty cool. That bull riding and all that stuff was pretty manly and pretty badass.
I do have to take into account that it may be made into a film now. So I say, well, I want it to be different, and I don't want it to be like other films or television, right? Because so you try to pick. A lot of ideas get rejected because they won't feel original. So it's got to be original for a film and a novel. Once I start writing, it's only about the novel. So lots of ideas get rejected, but once I have one, then I'm just back to being a novel. What I did was I wrote Ruth and Ira's story first, all the way from start to finish, and I set it aside. Then I wrote Luke and Sophia's story, and then I wrote the last, quarter of the book, the ending, and then I took Ira and Ruth and kind of dropped it into the novel where I thought it should go, and it worked.
Para mí ella representa todo lo que es la esencia de las mujeres que yo admiro. O sea, eso fue lo que más me atrajo del papel, fue de poder ejercer esos músculos que admiro en las mujeres fascinantes que tengo en mi vida. Amar cuando realmente tienes esa generosidad y esa empatía y esa necesidad de hacer crecer a alguien, a otra persona, eso es lindísimo. Eso es lo que tiene esta peli, yo creo.